Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan. Konnichiwa, konbanwa, ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to another episode of the State of the Game, this one covering August the 23rd. So this is a very big and very important State of the Game. If you have not seen the full version, then definitely you will want to check this out. Basically, with these State of the Games, what I'm trying to do is cut down on the fluff. Usually the guys kind of go off track, or they talk about other things that are completely unrelated to the division, just like stuff that's going on in the studio. And what I'm trying to do with this is just to cut all of that stuff out to give you the information that I think you need, or that is pertinent to this week's State of the Game. So this one, they talk a lot about the pre-orders. They talk a lot about the things that are being kind of confused, or things that people are basically concerned about, hashtag complained about. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they talk about related to that. There's also a little bit of information about the new update with 1.8.3, and then there's also some information about Gamescom. There was actually a Gamescom vignette that they had in the actual State of the Game, but I took that out because, it didn't really help a lot. There were some talk of cosplayers and stuff like that, and just talking to the people at Gamescom. So if you went to Gamescom, let us know in the comments how that went and what you thought. But really and truly, this State of the Game is focusing on the pre-orders and Division 2. So let's get started.
Hello everyone, welcome to State of the Game for August 23rd, 2018. So what we're going to do today, yes, everyone knows, we are going to, of course, update 1.8.3 came out today, for example. That's a big one. We're going to talk a little bit about Gamescom. I just came home from there, had a fantastic time.
Yes.
And then there's also some confusion that we're going to make some clarifications around the pre-orders that were announced at Gamescom.
There's been a lot of discussion, so
a lot of discussion.
We need to talk about it.
Yes, we definitely do. Striker changes, yes. Those were introduced today.
Yeah.
So we're keeping a close eye on the meta now to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting.
There's been some reactions already, and people have started making videos. So please have the conversation. Let us know what you think, how it feels. Let's look at the meta together, see how it turns out, and if something else comes up, or if things stabilize. So yeah, go out there, play around with it, and let us know.
There were also a couple of bug fixes with the showstopper that we fixed today. Remember though that one of them was that you could increase the RPM beyond what it was supposed to be. The sound and the rumble and controller for controller players, that's still there. So it sounds and feels like you're getting that extra shot off, but you're not. Just keep that in mind. The support station master mod was changed as well. You don't get the instant heal when you disable it. It charges up over time.
Yeah.
So to get the full heal, you need to wait X amount of seconds. I think it's 10 seconds
Apparently
to get the full
seconds,
the full heal. And we also fixed the running in place bug. We ran a survival free week together with the Phoenix patch, which was released last week, and we had some issues with the servers.
Yeah.
That didn't go so well. So what we're doing is we're extending the free week for survival up until it's Monday morning at 9:30 CST, so 9:30 Swedish time, which means roughly around midnight on Pacific time. Mm-hmm. So survival will keep being free for the whole weekend.
Yeah. So it's not a free week anymore, obviously.
It's a free
now we're
week.
talking about the survival free access.
Global Event Strike starting on Monday, the 27th, running for 1 week.
How was Gamescom?
Gamescom was freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. But during Gamescom, we revealed the new trailer, which I thought we'd play. This one gives me goosebumps every time. So we're just going to run the brand new Gamescom trailer.
How could this have happened here? Of all the capitals, of all the nations on Earth, none more vigilant, safeguarded, prepared, Was it vanity? Bad luck? Or something more sinister? One thing is beyond question. This is where we push back. This is our defining moment. If we fail, our nation falls. We are the free world's last line of defense.
All right. I just love that final shot with the flare. It gives me
one.
goosebumps
That's a nice one.
every time. So we need to clarify a couple of things about the pre-orders
Yeah.
of the Division 2 that were announced during Gamescom.
Yes. No, but I mean, yeah, there's been some confusion when we announced the pre-orders, and there still is. We have a bunch of offers. The offers are actually different depending on the region you're in. If you're in Europe, in America, and everything, you may have different offers. And on top of that, there's an extra layer, which is that depending on the country you're in and the retailer you're going through, you may also have different things. So there's a lot of things out there, and one of the big confusion I think we had with the offers was around the Dark Zone edition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the one we really wanted to clear up, because that's one of that has generated a lot of conversation and a lot of confusion between people. So just to clarify about the Dark Zone edition that you've seen, and we've said that already a bit, but for those of you who don't know that yet, there's two different Dark Zone editions because of two regions. So there is one that is available in Europe, Middle East, Asia, that is the Dark Zone Collector's Edition.
Correct.
And there is one that is available in the Americas, basically North, Central, and South America, that is called the Dark Zone Definitive Collector's Edition.
Yes.
So these are two different versions, so make sure when you're looking at the version you're going to buy, make sure you have the correct name. Only the one from your region is available to you anyway. So you cannot, if you're in Europe, you cannot buy the version from America, and so on and so forth. But when if you're going on the Ubisoft store or anything, that's one way at least to make sure to make the difference between both, is actually to look at the name. So again, Dark Zone Collector's Edition is Europe, Middle East, Asia. This one does not include the Year 1 pass. So that's where there's been also a lot of confusion. Does it or does it not? The Europe, Middle East, Asia Dark Zone Collector's Edition does not include the Year 1 pass. The North, Central, South America Dark Zone Definitive Collector's Edition does include the Year 1 pass. So
Yep.
just to make it clear.
Yep. A lot of people have been discussing is the additional stash space that's available in, let's see, it's Ultimate Edition, Phoenix Shield Edition, and the Definite Collector's Edition.
Yeah. So, and that's probably one of the biggest discussions out there, and we know it's still a thing, and even in chat we see that. So, first, additional stash space. So this is part of a pack that is called the Elite Agent Pack, and the Elite Agent Pack comes in three different versions: the Ultimate Edition, the Phoenix Shield Edition. I have to look at my notes because I don't want to confuse myself. So Ultimate Edition, Phoenix Shield Edition, and the Dark Zone Definitive Collector's Edition.
Which we know is the American one.
Which is the American one. And so one of the things in this Elite Agent Pack is, yes, an extension of stash size. And there's been a lot of conversation about it. People have been asking, how much size is that and everything. We're not ready yet to talk about the numbers, because stash size is still something that is subject to balancing when we're going to have all the final amount of items and all these kind of things. But what we wanted to tell you is that we're the people that made the Division 1. We know how important stash size is, and we've been through a lot of conversations and improvements in the Division 1 regarding stash size. We are an item-based game. We are a looter shooter, so it's we know that storage is a very big thing. So we want to make sure that stash size is going to be much more comfortable in the Division 2. So we want to make sure that there's going to be enough stash size for everyone. So where we wanted to reassure you is the fact that we want to have enough stash size for everybody, so you don't need to buy that Elite Agent pack in order to be able to store all your items. This one is just a bonus for the people that really want to hoard and collect everything. But the comfortable basis for us is going to be what is available to everyone. We are not looking at diminishing the amount of stash size available just to push people into buying that pack. That's really not what we want to do there.
Right. And we're also currently not looking at paid options for.
No. And that's also another thing is like, are you going to add microtransactions for stash size or something?
Yeah.
This is not something we're considering right now. Right now, the only thing that is available for stash size is the Elite Agent pack, but we're not looking at anything beyond that for the moment. So it's really just that.
Yeah. There's also the discussion about early access.
One of the so there's 2 early access. One comes with the pre-order versions. When you pre-order Gold Edition and beyond, you can get a 3 days early access to the game. And if you have the Year 1 pass, you will get a 7 days early access to all the episodes.
Yep.
That's basically how that works. Now, the idea behind the early access is that we really want it to be focused on the narrative discovery. We want the early access to be about the people that really cannot wait to find out about the new stories that we're offering in the episodes, so they can get to dive into it right away. We know that there is a competitive aspect in the game. We know that there is a lot of things with character building, with min-maxing, with all of that, and an early access could actually give a head start to people. So we're fully aware of that, and when it comes to actually defining what is available in the early access, we're going to take that into account. We are not looking at the early access to be a way for people to build their character early. It's not about that. It's really about going out there and playing the missions, playing the episodes. So when it comes to everything that is competitive, that is items, PvP, and all of that, these are things that we're going to be looking at very carefully in terms of what is available during the early access, what is not available during the early access, and maybe released to everyone at the same time later on. These will all be treated very carefully.
How about raids and early access?
Yeah, raids are definitely, that's one of the things when we talk about competitive. Raids are not part of the early access, period. Raids will be open after the early access period, not right after it. We want to make sure that when we open a raid, everybody has had time to prepare for it. Everybody, no matter which version you have, if you have a Year 1 pass or not. So these are definitely not part of it.
No, good. It feels very nice you cleared that up.
Yeah. Now, additional activities, this is one of the mentions in the Year 1 pass. We said the Year 1 pass offers the early access, extra customization item, and additional activities. That is one of the things where we have to tell you, we will tell you more later. So we are not ready yet to reveal what are the extra activities. But remember, at E3, we said that our vision for Year 1 was to avoid community split and to release all our episodes for free. And this is still really the case. So when we're talking about extra activities or additional activities, it's still with the vision in mind that we outlined at E3. So more information on that later, but we're still sticking to that vision.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's one of those things, a small thing that has caused confusion as well, is the unique skill effect.
Yes, and this one is also part of the Elite Agent pack. There was a mention of a unique skill effect that is part of the Elite Agent pack, and some people started wondering, okay, is that actually like a unique mode, unique skill mode? No, it's not. The unique skill effect is just a visual effect. It's a visual customization of your skill. It doesn't affect at all the gameplay and the performance of the skill.
No.
It's actually we're in the process of renaming it to, unique skill visual, I think. I didn't write it down, but I think.
Beta access.
Yes.
So the beta, but no, because there's private and there's closed beta.
And the thing is, some text mention just beta and not which one. So that's one of the source of confusion. So closed beta and private beta are 2 different phases. Private beta is the one that you get access to. It's going to be the first one, and it's the one that you get access to by pre-ordering. So if you pre-order, you get access to the private beta. Then after that, we will have a closed beta. And in that closed beta, we will be inviting people from those that registered on the website. So when you go on the website and you register to the beta, you're registering to the closed beta, and you have a chance to be invited. if you have pre-order, then you have access to the private beta, which will take place before. You will, of course, also get access to the, the subsequent phases.
Yep.
So the closed beta, you will get access to it as well.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
So I hope this clears it up. It's 2 different phases. First, private pre-order, and then we extend with closed beta and inviting people from the website that registered on the website.
Right. There's an exotic weapon, or there's actually 2 exotic weapons available for in the various pre-order packs.
Yeah.
The Lullaby in the Capital Defender packs that goes for all pre-orders.
Yes.
And then we have the Ruthless in the Elite Agent pack.
Yeah.
But there's been, because in the Division 1, there's a couple of there were a couple of pre-order weapons.
There was the Defiler.
Yeah, the Defiler, and they've stopped really playing any role in the game after a while. You kind of out-leveled them. But that is something that we've looked at for these things in the Division 2.
And that's something that people have been mentioning when looking at the pre-order offers, and they saw that there is an exotic weapon, and then there is what we call an endgame blueprint of this exotic weapon, and people have been talking about it. Some people were concerned, is that pay to win? So basically the way we look at it is when you get this weapon, you will get a low-level version of that weapon. So you will get a low-level version of the Lullaby and the Ruthless to start your experience, to start actually getting a feeling and a sense of exotic weapons in the Division 2.
Yep.
But of course, you're going to outgrow it. So similarly to the Defiler in the Division 1, eventually you're going to get better items and higher-level items. You're going to outgrow it. But what we wanted to do is make sure that at the end game, you still have a chance to actually use that weapon because maybe you like it and whatever. So we added the blueprints, the endgame blueprints. Now, the way it works, because we want to try to make it as fair as possible for everybody, and this is where you're going to have to follow me because it might be getting a bit technical, but we trust you. You've played the Division 1, so you understand everything about crafting and all of that. And we are not going to reveal everything about crafting. But what I can tell you is when you have the Ruthless or the Lullaby, or not when, but the Ruthless and the Lullaby will have equivalents that are available to everyone. So what that means is that the Ruthless, for example, is an AK-47 exotic weapon. There's going to be an endgame Ruthless AK-47, which is the one you're going to craft as part of your pre-order or pack bonus. But there's going to be another exotic AK-47 with exactly the same stats and the same talents.
Yep.
But it's going to be available to drop for everybody.
Yep.
So that means if you get the Ruthless, you're not getting any advantage because there is another one that is available to everybody.
Right.
That has exactly the same stats. And to top that, in order to craft your Ruthless, you're going to have to drop the equivalent and use that as basically as a component of your crafting recipe.
Yep.
So what that means is that you're not going to be able, as soon as you reach endgame, to directly redeem your Ruthless, and then you can own everybody with your endgame weapon or craft your endgame weapon and own everybody. In order to craft your endgame weapon, endgame exotic weapon, you're going to have to first drop the exotic equivalent.
Yep.
And then you can craft one that has the same stat, but that has a more unique look and feel.
Yep. So it's basically at the end, it's an exotic cosmetic item.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
It's a cosmetic look. So you can have the ordinary drop, or you can have the exotic.
It has a different name and a different look, but it's literally the same stats as the weapon that is available to everyone. So it's really just to look a bit more unique with that weapon.
Yep.
All right, guys, that is it for this week's State of the Game for August the 23rd, 2018. With all of this new information, this is kind of the reason why I don't like making kind of those, jump the gun videos. I know a lot of YouTubers make videos as soon as the information or the news comes out, and then they end up making videos where they either bash or praise something without fully knowing what is going on. I like to get information from the developers, or at least hear their side of it, so that we kind of know for a fact what we're going to get. If there is some speculation videos, I will clearly say that these are my opinions or this is speculation. So usually I'm not that kind of guy that wants to just make gossipy kind of videos just for the sake of making it for views. I'd rather give you guys some real information with stuff that you guys can actually kind of take to the bank, because when people's money is on the line, it's better to have actual information than some BS just for some views. But either which way, I'm curious to know which edition are you guys going to get. I know that we have really kind of two editions that are fighting for a lot of kind of exposure right now. The North American, or the Americas edition, which includes Canada and South America, and then also the European edition, and some of the bonuses and things that you guys get with that. Now, really and truly, for me, because I'm in Japan, there aren't a lot of physical bonus editions. Like I know that with some of the more expensive editions, there's like a map or like a figurine or some stuff like that. But in Japan, there's the standard edition, the gold edition, and there's another ultimate edition, I think is what it's called. And the ultimate edition for me is actually not that bad. I just don't get any of the toys. I get the first responder, the battle worn secret pack. If you get the PC version, which I plan on getting, you get the teddy bear, which, whatever. There's also the beta access. There's the capital whatever pack. That thing is going to be in there. The elite agent pack is in there, the season pass, the game, and then the early access. So pretty much everything that I need or that I would be interested in getting is in that pack. I don't get the toys and all that other stuff, but that's reasonable for me. And yeah, it's a reasonable price. It's nothing like that $200 or $300 almost. I don't think it's $300, but it's like $200+ for some of that stuff. And when it comes down to how much money you really want to spend on getting a game that you haven't even played, I'm a little bit kind of cautious about spending that kind of money. But you guys let me know, what is it that you are looking for? Which edition are you planning on buying? Do you think that buying some of those really expensive editions are worth it? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know.